Hey, how's it going, everyone? So I have more Stellatus flowers open today. I'm looking for the Huastecorum pollen. This one. So I'm gonna get some Huastecorum pollen to pollinate these guys. And there's a lot of pollen here, so well, not a whole lot, but there's a good amount. So I want to get a few uses out of it. So I got pollen here. I got two brushes. I got two brushes with pollen. And then I got a micro Q-tip or micro cotton swab. I don't like using regular cotton swabs because they're too big. And it seems like the pollen sticks on it too well. So seal this frozen pollen back up. There's very little left, but I have a few more Stellatus buds that are going to open soon, and this is going to be my best bet for a pollen. I have this Huastecorum, and then I have a Huastecorum, a different clone of Huastecorum over here, this one. But I don't have that. I got very little pollen, so I also have some Thurberry pollen, but last time I tried Thurberry pollen on Stellatus and it didn't work. So here are my three brushes here. Yesterday, daily I've been getting flowers. So that's why I have all these videos on pollinating Stellatus. I don't need to bombard you guys with all these videos, but you know, if you don't care to watch the Stellatus pollination, just I guess don't watch them. I have other videos coming up, but right now I'm in dire need. I really would love to get some fruit from the Stellatus, from both the clones that I have. Oh man, there's a bee. There's a bee on the Stellatus in there. I'll let the bee do its thing. I won't shoo it away. Oh, it notices me. See, the one over here didn't open all the way just because it's so cold. It was cold last night and they weren't opening. Those two back there opened previously, and I pollinated those. So it's just these two right here. I'm waiting for the bee to do its thing. Yeah, there's a good amount of pollen. Yeah, let's let the bee do its get some pollen before it leaves. I wish all my Stenocereus would get this many like bees, but there's often times when they have blooms and they get like no bees whatsoever. So whenever me and the wife do get a house somewhere, I think I want to beekeep just so there's abundance of bees everywhere. So it'd be nice to live in abundance of bees. I grew up with bees. My dad had 3 beehives, actually 4, and he would harvest the bees with a makeshift suit. And somehow the bees would make it in there and he'd still get stung. I remember once he got stung by on his eyelid, and his eye blew up and he looked like Rocky. That's pretty crazy. But respect the bees, man. I mean, they're what help pollinate all the fruits, you know? All these trees, flowers, you wouldn't have all those fruits and nuts and all that, and almonds and all that, if it wasn't for this wonderful creature. if you want to call it a creature. Bees are incredible, and then honey is incredible also. Uh, all right. The bees. You already have. Oh man, he's pretty insistent. All right, he's on the next flower. So let's take a look at the stigma. You could see it really nicely right here. You could see the stigma right in the middle. You see it? It's closed. You know, it's not good. So I'm going to use a blunt end of my brush just to kind of beat it up a little bit. And you'll see that, you know, it'll open up. And that's how you want it. That's how you want your stigma to be. You see how it looks like a little, not really like a little star, but it has these few little arms. So I have some Huastecorum pollen here we're going to try. And I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go apeshit kind of with it. And this is what you kind of do when you have a big brush. But let me show you when you have, I wanted to show you guys, when you have a micro, I don't want to say Q-tip because Q-tip is a brand. Sorry, B. Joe. I should say a micro cotton swab. When you have a micro one like this, you could see that there's pollen right at the end. Let me see. Can you see how it's yellow kind of at the end? Let me try to focus. You see? So what you want to do is get right into the stigma, right in the middle of the stigma. There's a little hole. That's where the pollen has to enter. And it works its way down the stigma, down the pistil, and then the pollen will go down into the ovaries of the plant. And if it gets pollinated, it'll start to swell up. It'll start to swell up down in the bottom. So yeah, so you're going with the micro cotton swab right in the middle, so you know you're pollinating it correctly. This is really useful when you have little tiny stigmas on like little plants, like a Lophophorus or all these other smaller cacti. So now let's take a look at this flower over here. You can see the stigma is also closed. Let me move the stigma around. You see it? It's closed. So I'm going to use the tip of this micro cotton swab to kind of help open up the stigma. Alright, it's a lot better. You see it? So I kind of used up, I think, the pollen that was on this little micro cotton swab. But that's why I got 3 brushes. So on my third one I haven't used yet. Let's see, I still have a pollen at the end of it. Let me see. Try to focus. It's not focusing. But yeah, I have, oh, there's a mosquito here. So with the brushes, it's not as good as you can't really pinpoint that well, but I mean, yeah, you kind of just dab it on there, you know? And then I'll just go apeshit. Just make sure the pistil moves around and the stigma's getting all beat up. So with dragon fruit and cacti with like Trichocereus, and if you want to call them Echinopsis, these flowers with really big stigmas are so easy to pollinate. But when they're small little ones like this, you really want to use a small brush. I mean, you could use a big brush if you get a whole lot of pollen, you could just dab it on or brush it, go crazy like this, you know? But I mean, I want to make sure the pollen gets in the stigma, so I'll use a small brush. But I'm telling you, these micro I can't focus. It's not focusing. These micro cotton swabs do wonders. And they're really cheap. You can order them like on Amazon or something, or probably find them at your beauty shop. Yeah, it's not focusing, but yeah, these are some little tiny cotton swabs. And the good thing, and like I said, you could really just get it. If you want to put it in the middle of stigma, you'll be like, bam, you know. Just make sure you have pollen at the end of it, and bam, you know, easily. Anyways, guys, quick video update. The flowers that I pollinated with the other Stellatus frozen pollen, and yesterday I pollinated one of these with a Huastecorum pollen also. They still haven't fallen off. I just did the pollination. This one you could see, I did a video where I completely cut the top of the flower off, and the stigma was sticking out. The stigma's right here. It's all dried up now. And I pollinated it that way. So let's see if these stick. Again, fresh pollen is the best, but frozen could be a good option if it's stored right, if it's stored correctly. Hopefully it's still viable, and you'll be able to cross pollinate your cacti. With dragon fruit, the particles are bigger, and that one freezes really well. With Stenocereus pollen, it's been kind of hit miss. So we'll see how these buds hopefully they develop. Anyways, guys, just a short video. Cheers, guys. Hey guys, I was walking around looking at the garden. Look what I found. Holy moly, I wasn't expecting this. This is a Huastecorum flower. Yeah, so I should be harvesting pollen, but I don't know how much pollen is in here. Oh, it's a good amount of pollen. Yeah, I might harvest and freeze some of this. But let me collect some of this pollen on this brush. Look how much pollen there is. It's crazy. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go dab this back onto the Stellatus. I use, like I just mentioned earlier, fresh pollen is best. And here it is, fresh pollen. Look at this. Yeah, so let's go back to that Stellatus, those two Stellatus flowers, and put some fresh pollen. See if this is a different Huastecorum. So let's see if it's let's see if they set fruit. So I'll go ahead and dab this on. Oh man, the bees are again. Alright. Sorry, Mr. Bee. I just need to collect some pollen really quick. I just need to pollinate this really quick. Okay. So I put that pollen. I'm going to try to clean the brush a little. Now, let me try to collect some of the Stellatus pollen to try to pollinate. Yeah, this bee's pretty ruthless. Go for it, bee. I collected some of the Stellatus pollen now to pollinate that Huastecorum I have over here. Now, Huastecorum used to be known as Griseus, which had a long distribution range, but they did some testing on it, and they discovered that the one that grows in Venezuela is much different than the one that grows in Mexico. So the one that was from Mexico that was called previously Griseus, they renamed it Huastecorum. Where is this? Man, the stigma's like hidden in here. Oh man, there's a stigma. It's like way in there. See, that's what sucks about these little flowers, you know? But I have some pollen here. I don't know if these cross well, but I'm gonna try to go in there, try to cross it. We'll see. We'll see if that takes. I'll do an updated video to see if this took or not. Anyways, yeah, I guess the other two flowers that I just pollinated with this fresh pollen, if those take and the frozen pollen I used did not take, then it kind of sucks that I'm not proving that frozen pollen is good or viable. But I just hope I can really get fruit from those Stellatus. Anyways, guys, I'll do updated videos.